Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. A for Algebra, C for College Algebra, and G for Geometry, or getting stuff done. So, yeah, was ready to go with my 7 o'clock appointment, and I actually said hi to a couple people, then bam, my electricity went out. I was like, oh damn. Okay, life is catching up to me. God's trying to tell me something, and I'm just too stupid not to hear or listen. So, just got the electricity back, but I had to wait until the modem kind of caught up with everything. So, what we're going to be doing tonight, we are going to continue on our quest with dividing polynomials. So, we're going to be looking at it from a long division perspective. Is there other ways of doing it? Yes. Should we try the other ways? Maybe. But do I feel that this is probably the most effective and less complicated of all the ways? Probably. Especially like for people that are not a true lover of math. There we go. So, keep your comments. Please say, hey, Audrey, there's an easier way. Hey, Audrey, there's an easier way. Then put it on your platform and we're going to go together. Yes. All right. So, see, every time I'm about to start live, here comes the cat. Yes. I love you too. But you gotta stay out here. Okay? Stay nice and cool. I'll be back. Bye. All right. So, as you guys are coming in, go ahead and tip and tap. There's 14 of you guys. So let's make everything happen right here. So I'm going to get things kind of set up on the other side. Hey, Kaya, how are you? So, yeah. Okay, almost there, guys. Almost there. Keep on tapping. Keep it up. Because we want to definitely get everything situated. All right, here we go. Hey, baby, how are you? Ready to learn. How am I? I was hot. Hot. But I'm grateful. I'm telling you. I think God's trying to tell me something. I feel like the color purple right now. It's like, God is trying to tell you something. Well, God, tell me what you want. Please. Because all these little trials and tribulations are really starting to get on my nerves. All right. Hey, Janice, how are you? So what I'm going to be doing for you guys is going to be another late night for Audrey. I'm going to try to do a recording for today's, and I'm going to put it in Google Classroom so you guys can have that. All right. So I'm going to try to do my best to stick with like about maybe an hour for here, and then I'm going to get done doing that. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So, when we are dividing, here's my thing. We did a little bit this yesterday, but just like my students, you take a day off, you forgot everything. So, we need to kind of ease ourselves back in there. All right. So, first thing, we need to take a look at our first term here, which is our b cubed. And we need to ask ourselves, what times b will give me b cubed? So, what times b will give me b cubed? Well, that's b squared. And I'm going to have that b squared lined up with the b squared that's in my dividend. So, all I have to do is just write b squared right up here. And then I have my b squared times b. Obviously, it's going to be b cubed because that's how we set it up. So, now, we're going to use this b squared turn this down a little bit. We're going to use this b squared, and we're going to multiply by the next term, the 9. So b squared times 9, that gives me a positive 9b squared. So just like regular division, what we're going to do now is we're going to subtract. So when we subtract, the b cubes, they're going to cancel out. Okay, and we don't need to put the 0 because we still have this 13 minus 9 that we're going to have to deal with, right? Now, don't forget, when we're subtracting, I know you see plus signs. That's why I put this little reminder over here for the side. Okay, so when I see this, I'm actually subtracting, but I'm not doing anything with the exponents, okay? I'm just basically using the exponents just to do a little bit of matching. All right, so we have 13 minus 9. That will give me 4. And it's 4b squared. So now, after we solve here, we're going to bring down the next term. So that's our plus 42b. Now we're going to do the process all over again. So we got to ask ourselves, what times b will give me 4b squared? All right. So what times b will give me 4b squared? What do you think? Hey, Robert, how are you? Okay. 4b. Thank you, JB. Do we agree with JB? With our 4b? Okay. Kai agrees with you to 4b. Moonlight says yes. All right. All I need is my 3s. Okay. So, since it's going to be a positive 4b, so that means we're going to add 4b up into, okay, my quotient. So now we're going to take it. That 4b times b gives me 4b squared. 4b times 9, that gives me a positive 36b. Now we're going to subtract this line. That's why I always put this here. So when we subtract, my 4b squares, they're going to cancel out. So now we have 42 minus 36, and last time I checked, that's going to be 6, but 6b. So with that 6b, we're going to bring down the next number. So we're bringing down our plus 54. Okay, how did I get that b squared at the top? So I had to think, what times b will give me b cubed? So remember, when you multiply, you add the exponents, right? So b squared times b. Remember, if you don't see anything, there's a 1 that's an exponent. So that's where that b squared came from. Okay, awesome. Right? Well, welcome on in. Cat fan Brian. All right, so now let's think. What times b will give me 6b? What times b will give me 6b? All right, so I got brace faces telling me 6b. I got C4 telling me 6 guts, making me miss school. Nina saying 6. Jess, it's 2. Kai saying 6. Vern is 6. Pog is 6. Plus 6. Tori 6. JB 6. Nicole, how are you? 6b. Berta, there we go. Berta is saying 6. All right, so it is going to be 6, not 6b. It's going to be a plus 6. The reason why, if I multiply the 6 and the b, that's going to give me my 6b. If I make this into a 6b, now I'm talking about 6b squared. And we ain't talking about 6b squared. We just want one of them. All right, so we're going to rewrite our 6b here. And then we're going to take the 6 times 9 to fill into this spot. So 6 times 9, that gives me a positive 54. Then we're going to subtract this line. So when we subtract, we notice that the 6b's cancel out, as well as 54 minus 54, that gives me 0. So I don't have anything else to bring down, and plus I don't have anything left over, aka remaining behind. Hence it's called a remainder, okay? So back in the day, we used to have the remainder with that big capital R. Yeah, and some states are actually bringing that back, just like hot pants, right? Or we used to call them pedal pushers and all kinds of fun stuff. All right? Now, yes. So, since we don't have anything left and we do not have a remainder, that means our answer is b squared plus 4b plus 6. That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be, and everyone far and wide, our answer. Okay, that's our quotient. Okay, so sometimes they may ask you, what's the quotient? There you go. All right, nice. Yeah. So if my connection is, we did it. Yes, we did. So if my connection gets all kinds of wonky, it's because, the modem is trying to even itself out. So just stay, just in case anything weird ever happens. What does b equal? B could equal anything, Ellen. It could equal anything. Remember, it's a variable. So a variable can equal anything. The only variables that actually equals numbers is E and I. All right. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. Let's see if I can raise this up. Let's see. Yeah, before I want to do at least 2 more, just kind of refresh our memory before I do it with a number in front of our divisor. Okay, that is coming. So I know some of you guys are chomping at the bits. When is she gonna do one with I'm going to. But then when was she? It's gonna happen. But I don't know if she's gonna. It's going to occur. I feel like I'm in the classroom. Okay, so r to the third. Ooh, handwriting. 12r squared plus 32r minus 15. Okay. A little tweak. There we go. Okay. Yep. Totally got you. But we're not doing quadratic formulas today. Not yet. It was supposed to happen today, but, I didn't want to do too much. So I wanted to break it on down. All right, so 1. Before we even get to this, there's almost 500 people here. Really? 7.6? Really? I would love, huge heart, love, let's go. Come on. You're getting basically free tutoring. And I know some of you guys are like, it's the summer. It's really the summer. Like, I don't know it's the summer. It's hot. I'm in a dark room with this ring light acting like I did something wrong and I'm being investigated. Let's tap, people. Let's tap. Come on. Let's get it up to 25K. We can definitely do that. Come on. We all need double tap. Let's go. Okay? You can definitely get past 10K. Let's keep pushing. All right. Yeah, Balance and Beauty, their quotient is a quadratic. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, 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 yes. All right. We can get it all the way up to, let's get it to like 12. And then I can start moving. Because I don't like just be like, oh, okay, everybody just start typing. Because if anything, if you are, while you're sitting here, while we're tapping, if you are currently in a program, I'm starting to get a lot of people that are like in those nursing programs and they're having a final exam at the end of this month, make sure you reach out to me. Okay, if you're having trouble with your math, if you're taking college algebra and you're struggling and you're still going to see your teacher and it's still not working. So here's my thing. Why keep doing something that's not working? I know it's crazy. Okay, so if you need some assistance, just go ahead and reach out. If you're trying to get your ASVAB, try to get that score up and you've been studying, but there are certain parts that you're just like, yeah, I don't really know, and you don't know if I am going to be presenting that, please share, just reach out. Reach out, send me a message, okay? Just get the assistance that you need. Okay, this was hard. Yep. Okay, we could use synthetic division, but we're doing long division. Okay, we're doing long division because sometimes they'll ask you. All right, so here we go from the very beginning. What times r gives me r cubed? Okay, we're going to take it step by step. So what times r gives me r cubed? Okay, Suit's saying r squared. Nicole's saying r squared. Kai saying r squared. Marcy is saying r squared. Ooh, there's some comments that is being filtered. What y'all nastiness y'all saying? Okay, Cha-Cha saying r squared. JB r squared. J r cubed. Careful, J. Chris r squared. There we go, J. R squared. Okay, Tori r squared. All right, so it's not 3 r's, it's going to be dos. All right, so I'm going to line up my r squared with the r squared in my dividend. Because think of it this way. I have 2 r's here. I have 1 r there. Now I have a total of 3 r's. So now we're going to use this r squared. Okay, after we multiplied it with the r, that's where the r cubed came from. Now we're going to take the r squared and multiply by the negative 3. So r squared times negative 3 gives me negative 3r squared. So just like regular long division, we're going to subtract. And I like to put the reminder here. So now that I'm subtracting, my r cubes, they're going to equal 0, but I don't need the 0 because I have all this lovely stuff over here to deal with. Now, here's the test. What's negative 12r squared minus negative 3r squared? Okay. So I'm seeing 15r squared, negative 15r squared, negative 9r squared, negative 9r squared. Okay, negative 9r squared. Hey, best Dodger fan, how are you? Okay, kind of gotten back on with negative 9r squared. Okay, Jess is saying negative 15 because the minus makes the number opposite. Yes. Okay, Janice is saying negative 9r squared. JB, negative 9r squared. Tori, negative 9r squared. Cena, negative 15r squared. Awesome, I'm doing okay. Okay, numero 206 saying negative 15. Mimi is saying K. All right, careful. It's negative 12 minus a negative 3. When you minus a negative, it turns positive. Okay, when you minus a negative, this 3 is going to turn into a positive. So it's really negative 12 plus 3, which will give us a negative 9r squared. Okay, all right. Okay, these do not cancel out. Okay, we do not cancel out. They're not being divided. They're being combined. Okay, they're basically used to keep track. So now, after we do that, we bring down our next term. So that's what that plus 32r is going to come in. And then we're going to do the process all over again. Okay? All right, so the r squares do not cancel out because we're not dividing. Okay? So now, let's do the process again. So, what times r gives me negative r squared? What times r gives me negative 9r squared? Go ahead, put that in the chat. What do you think? I know it's hard to put things in the chat and tap at the same time, but you can do it. I have faith. All right. So there's something missing, Kevin. What's missing? Okay, best Dodger fan say negative 9r. Numero said negative 9r. Daniela, how are you? Negative 9r. Michaela, negative 9r. Welcome in. What is this? Kuja? Like as the dog? Okay, negative 9r. Night Owl Flame, negative 9. You forgot something. Tori, negative 9r. Keep the cameras rolling, negative 15. Careful. Okay? Careful, careful, careful. Okay, there we go. Yes, negative 9r. So, not negative 9r squared, just singular. So now I'm seeing some negative 3s. I'm seeing some negative 3s. Let's take a look. Okay? So what times r will give me a negative 9r squared? That's going to be a negative 9r. Because r times r will give me the r squared. The negative 9 times what's assumed to be a positive 1 that's in front of the r will be my negative 9. So if I use that negative 9r times r, I will get my negative 9r squared. Now I'm going to multiply this negative 9r times a negative 3. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. 9 times 3 gives me 27. And my r, and this doesn't have an r, so I just bring the r down. Okay. So as we're going through this, go through it in bits and pieces. One, don't get frustrated, because here's the thing. There's no escaping this. So I'm going to tell you right here and now, GED, this is a 4-point question. So this might be the question that will be between you passing or failing. Think of it that way, okay? Like no stress, right? So if you're doing ASVAB, if you're getting into this, that means you're definitely above that 31 cutoff. Okay, some, I know every branch has a different cutoff, but if you can get something like this, you're definitely going to be in the late 40s, early 50s. How many jobs can you get just by passing this one question? Okay, don't let math scare you. Okay, I know it's going to be a little frustrating. All right, so don't let it scare you. So, I know, right, Jess? No pressure. So, if we think about it, we're going to subtract these two. And you're probably saying, well, oh, that gives me negative 18. No, it does not. Okay? You are subtracting. So a negative minus a negative. When you minus a negative, it turns positive. So if you haven't picked up, every time we do something, these are the ones that are supposed to cancel out. Okay? So now we have our 32 minus 27. Not plus, minus. That's why I put this reminder over here. Okay, because I know you guys are going to be like, oh, I just want to get the answer. Let me hurry up and get the answer. And you'll get an answer. And that answer will be an answer choice. But because you didn't just take a quick second to just breathe, all of a sudden you missed the mark. Okay, so we got our 32 minus our 27. That gives us 5r, a positive 5r. And then I'm bringing down my, why did I put 5 twice? Let's make that into an R. So crazy. Minus 15. Okay, that's supposed to be an R. So now we're doing the process again. What times R will give me 5R? What times R will give me 5R? Positive 5. Positive 5. Okay, so here's the thing. You keep wanting to cancel things out. All right? At this part, we had to combine them so it sticks with it. It's almost like, oh, okay, I'm going on a date, and then all of a sudden someone pulls your arm off. What? Why did you pull my arm off? That doesn't make any sense. Exactly. So when you go to the date, every bit of part of you is going to that date. And when that date is over, every bit of part of you is coming out of that date. I know. Where my mind goes, I don't know. Here we are. But that's why you're not canceling out the R's. When they're subtracting and your leading coefficients are giving you 0, there's nothing left. That's why these canceled out. But when you're subtracting and things are left over, like it was here, the R comes down. Okay? All right? So you're thinking of dividing. When you're dividing, you have an R in the numerator and an R in the denominator. They will cancel out. We're not dividing. We are subtracting. Okay? Do we get it now? Do we get it? Not a problem. More than willing to do that. Okay. So, going back, this does give me a positive 5. Because 5 times R gives me 5R. So I'm putting my 5R right here. I'm actually going to put an R this time. Then I'm using that plus 5. I'm going to multiply with the negative 3. So 5 times negative 3, that gives me a negative 15. So, just like we always do, we're going to subtract those two together. So, 5R minus 5R, boom. Gone. Negative 15 minus negative 15, when you minus a negative, that means it turns positive. So, it's a negative 15 plus 15. You owed me $15. You paid me $15. Guess what? You don't owe me anything anymore. So we don't have a remainder. Everything is straight. Our relationship is perfectly fine because you paid your debt. Thank you. Okay. All right. Picky Ricky, stop picking. All right. So, it's not going to be negative 30 because you're subtracting. When you minus a negative, it turns positive. That's why I have this little symbol off to the side. You need these reminders, okay? You need those little reminders, okay? It clicked at the end. Awesome. There we go. All right. So my final answer, or my quotient, is going to be r squared minus 9r plus 5. Let's see if I can find one that gives us a lovely remainder. All right. Questions, put them in the chat. Also, go ahead and show some love, people. It should be a sea of red hearts. Sea of red hearts. Mad tapping. Mad tapping. Don't hold your love in. Okay, band, ready. So negative 15 minus 15 is negative 30. It's only, right? But look here, you're subtracting. Okay, you're subtracting. So when you're subtracting, you have negative 15 minus negative 15. When you minus the negative 15, this becomes plus. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0. Okay, plug it in. Bills fans, you think we got here all night? Heck no. It's like 10 o'clock at night. You, Joe, check it. You know how to check it. Plug it in. Have fun. Woohoo! All right. What if the outer number had, we're going to go into an expansion. Okay, we're going to go into expansion soon. All right. Okay. Only balance when it's even. Or I didn't see the extra on the left. My bad. Okay. No problem. No problem. Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. So, wait. Someone says, I'm confused on the 32R plus. It's not plus. Remember, you're subtracting. So, 32 minus 27. That's where the 5R came from. Okay. After you get down to your two terms, because we have a binomial in your divisor, after you get your two terms, you're subtracting. Okay. Just like if I were to, I'm going to put it, let's see if I can stick it off to the side over here. So like if I had, let's say 19 divided by 2. Just going to keep it simple, right? I know that there's no 2's that can go into 1. But how many 2's can go into 19? Well, we got 8 sets of 2's that can go into 19. Okay, no, I lied. 9 sets of 2's. You can tell, it's been crazy. 9 sets of 2's, because 9 times 2 gives me 18. But what do you do next? After you do that, what do you do next? You subtract. You're doing the same thing here. Okay? So in this case, you have a remainder. You have a remainder of 1. You always put your remainder over your divisor, which is 2. That's how you have, like, say, an improper fraction turned into a mixed number. You're basically dividing. So when you divide, when you get to this part, you have to subtract. And that's the part that you guys are missing, and that's why it's always going to be a crazy answer. Oops, hold on. Yep. Yep. It is. Okay? Don't be afraid of fractions. Okay? Don't be afraid of fractions. It's your remainder over your divisor. That's how you guys make change. If I have 46 cents, it's 46 out of 100 pennies. Okay? That's why supposedly on checks, you have, when you put a change, you have your change over 100. Okay? Yep. See, I know. Some people are bringing the R back, but yeah. Without using long division? Yep. It is. You can use synthetic division. But right now, I just want to focus on long division because I did synthetic already. All right. Okay. So, all right. Here we go. All right. We'll start with this one. I'm not going to make it too crazy. Just crazy enough to make things crazy. All right. Now, here's another thing. We're at 29. We've been chit-chatting for a little over 35 minutes. Can we get it up to 40? There's 304 people in here. Can we get it to 40K? Come on. This is free stuff. It's free tapping. Okay? Tap for almost 200. We'll be all set. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, guys, for the follows and the sending of the hearts and the gifts. I greatly appreciate it. Okay? Okay. I know, Liz. I know you wanna have synthetic division. So can we do synthetic division? Okay? You're sounding like an addict right now. We got a problem. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. I know we can do synthetic division. I know. I already did synthetic division a couple of times ago. All right. Now, if you want to, you guys can see synthetic division. Just go here. All of my replays of my lives are located here. Go ahead and subscribe there. This is the name of it. You go to that. All right. All of my lives from February the 2nd are listed there. Okay. So there's like over 100 and some odd. It's all kinds of cray-cray. Right? All right. Well, thanks, Liz. I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Guys, I know that there's multiple ways, but here's my thing. This is my gist. I'm basically dealing with people, I'm speaking to my people, that has always had a fear for math. And I really want to be able to break down concepts step by step. I know I can take derivatives. I know I can do integrals. I can do all of those advanced things. I got it. But I really want to speak to my people that had such a terrible time dealing with math, because I went through the same thing when I was in school. I had teachers that would just didn't want to teach me. But I finally got a really good math teacher until like my senior year in high school. And I felt like I was jilted the whole time. And he was the one that inspired me to be a math teacher. Where my third grade teacher, she inspired me to just be a teacher, period. And I just love to just break that whole thing called math phobia. Because what's happening is when you guys have kids, you're passing that on to your children. I hate to say it, but that's what you're doing. Oh, I was never good at math, so you're not going to be good at math. No, that's not how it goes. It's not a generational curse, people. Okay? We don't need to have some voodoo and like la 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 to get rid of all the evil spirits of that. It's because the way that the math was presented to you, no one really took the time to break it down to you. Now you're currently in a community college and you're basically trying to learn a whole year of math in 5 weeks. Stop the madness, okay? So that's why I'm here. I'm here to try to make it nice and easy, make a little laughter to it, with my crazy little personality. But if this is too slow for you guys, I appreciate you stopping by, but I'm not going to go any faster, okay? Like, I'm really going to be here to break concepts down, all right? Okay, now I can get off my soapbox and get back to the teaching. All right, we're at 42. Well, thank you. All right, not a problem. All right, one of those students, yep, that was me as well. So let's take a gander at, let's say, 3x plus 6. Ooh, okay, she's putting a number in front of the variable. I'm about to freak out. No, you're not. You're not allowed. Oops, that's an x. Minus 46. Okay. Now, we have our 3x plus 6. Then we have 3x squared minus 18x minus 46. Now, we could break all this lovely stuff down. Okay, we probably could have, what, maybe reduced everything that's under dividend. No, we couldn't, because 46 and 3 doesn't break down evenly. Okay, never mind. So we're good. We're doing the exact same thing. So we're going to start off. What times 3x will give me 3x squared? So what times 3x will give me 3x squared? Okay, so Mimi's saying 3x, Pog is saying x, Nate is saying x. Hey Nate. JB is saying x. Is it Perla? Mama of 2 is saying 1x. Is saying 3. Mahogany is saying x. Jess is saying x. Lily is saying 1x. Okay, Shanta saying x. Is that Pegasus saying x? Liz x. Roma x. Ramona, sorry, x. Mr. E-Man saying x. Janice is saying x. Flower is saying x. Hey, Leah saying x squared. Okay, we got Neat. We got Robert x. Jesus x. Here we go. All right, so what it is, in fact, the only thing that 3x is missing to make it into a 3x squared is actually just x. Because x times x will give me the x squared. We can assume a 1 is in front because 1 times 3 will give me the 3. So here we go. Bring down my 3x squared. And now we're going to use that x to multiply by the positive 6. So x times 6 gives me plus 6x. And we're going to subtract. Okay. Call you Marvin? Okay, thank you. All right, now 3x squared minus 3x squared, they cancel out, they give me a 0. But I don't need that 0 as a placeholder because I have this fun stuff to deal with. Now we have negative 18 minus a positive 6. Okay? So when you have a negative times a positive, your answer is going to be a negative. So that means these two actually have the same signage. Okay? Math fears? Yes, Nike. Good job. Okay? So they're actually both the same sign. When they're both the same sign, that means you're going to add. Think of it this way. You owe me $18, and for some sick and twisted reason, I loaned you another $6. So that means you're going to owe me $24. Okay? How are we feeling? What's getting everyone riled up is you're just seeing the negative 18 and the plus 6. You're forgetting that you are subtracting this line. That's the part that we're forgetting. That's why I have the remainder or the reminder over here. Okay? Okay. All right. Someone said I should ask. Okay, who developed these equations? Some monk back in the day didn't have nothing else to do. And nothing else to do. What else does he got to do? There's no TV. There's no internet. You just look at cows all day. So yeah, they were just like, you know what? I want to be famous. I want to get girls. I want to be like amazing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a math problem together. And then boom. Here you go. All right. Okay. So now, once we do that subtraction, we bring down the next term, that minus 46. So from here, we're going to do the process all over again, okay? So for people that are coming in, let's think. What times 3x will give me a negative 24x? Okay, what times 3x will give me a negative 24x? All right, so I'm seeing, hey Freckles, welcome back. Okay, and Bridget, welcome back. We're seeing negative 8, negative 8. We're seeing negative 8. Okay, Marvin, negative 8. Okay, and Bridget, welcome back. We're seeing negative 8, negative 8. We're seeing negative 8. Okay, Marvin, negative 8. JD, negative 8. Jesus saying negative 8x. Mimi saying positive 8. Liz, negative 8. Mahogany, 8x. Ooh, all of a sudden I got a whole slew of negative 8. Sorry. Okay, Robert is saying 8x. Jess is saying 8. Okay, Jesus came back with a negative 8. Hey, good job. Negative 8. We got Lily, negative Mimi, negative 8. Caitlin, negative 8. Ramona saying negative 8. Hold on. Okay, so we have a negative 8 because a negative times a positive will give me a negative. When you're multiplying and the signs are different or opposite, one's positive, one's negative, your answer is always going to be negative. And then 8 times 3 gives us that 24. Now you're probably saying, well, why don't I put an x here? Well, if you did, that would be x times x. And x times x will give me x squared. And we don't need 2 x's. We just need 1. So since the 3 already has an x, we got this covered. So negative 8 times 3x gives me negative 24x. Now we're going to use this negative 8 to multiply to the positive 6. So negative 8 times positive 6 gives me a negative 48. Now this line, we're going to subtract. All right. So since we're going to subtract, negative 24, when you minus a negative, this is actually turning into a positive 24x there. So negative 24x plus 24x, that cancels out and gives me a 0. But we don't need that placeholder because we have this fun stuff over here. Negative 46 minus a negative 48. Put it in the chat. Let's see. I know I'm going to get some very interesting numbers, and I'm ready for it. Okay, so I'm seeing Caitlin with a 2. I saw a negative 94. Can't see who that says. Liz with the 2s. Nike with the 2s. Marvin with a negative 8. Hold on. You're really dividing. Yep. But see, here's the thing. I'll talk about that in a second. Let me finish my thought here. So we got Jesus with the 2, Ren, hey, Ren, with 2, Mahogany 2. Is that Ile with the 2, Jesus with the 2, Zen with the 2. You passed all 4 math classes in high school. No more math for you. Oh, but you still have science. You see how they just snatched your back there, and you're like, I'm free. Nope. Okay. Yes, I'm seeing all these nens. So now, okay, here's the thing. It's not a negative 94. Okay? You're subtracting. You guys keep forgetting. Because when you minus a negative 48, you're actually making this 48 into a positive number. So if you owed me $46 and you gave me $48, you're really my friend because you gave me $2 more than I expected. So I'm like, ooh, hi friend, thank you, interest, there we go. All right, so it's going to be this. All right. So here's my thing. We don't have anything else to bring down. So this 2 is going to be my what? Hello, Michael. All right. This 2 is going to be my what? Okay. It's not. All right. So this 2 is my remainder. Now, some of you guys are used to doing it one of 2 ways. Okay. Some people will have it as x minus 8 with a capital R of 2. Some states are doing it that way. Here in Maryland, we do x minus 8, and we're adding our remainder with the divisor underneath. Oops. Okay. So some states, I know Texas is doing this. I know some parts of Florida is doing this. I know, who did that? I think it was South Carolina. I think South Carolina is doing this. But I know Maryland, Virginia, some schools in Pennsylvania are doing it this way. But both of them are correct. I'm going to write the word or on here. Okay, so it's either this one or this one. Okay. Okay, NY is doing it that way too? Okay. Yeah, I don't have anybody that I tutor in New York. But thank you. Thank you for telling me that. Yep. 50 years ago. But remember, they switched it over. I remember when I first started teaching, they got rid of the R and they made us do the remainder over the whatever the divisor was. Okay. North Carolina tells you both ways. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Sure about every school. Oh yeah, Maine. Don't you do that? When I was in school, they wanted the fraction. Okay. Yeah, here in Maryland, they want us the fractions. So it's just very interesting. Trust me, like when you tutor, it's when you get to see different places and different ways, you're just like, that's interesting. And you wonder why, especially if they're like in military and they go from place to place to place to place. I always feel bad for them because they learn so many different ways and they're just like, I'm confused. Because what happens in Baton Rouge doesn't necessarily happen in Maryland, or what happens in like Spokane is not the same as in like Philadelphia. You know, it's weird. Math's math. Math's math. So I can take a picture. Take a picture? Why don't you buy my book? Let's say Calc 2 is eating my lunch. Oh yeah, have fun with calculus. If you need help with calculus, make sure you talk to Robert. Robert, do you see it in the chat? Introduce yourself. Because Robert's like my go-to person when it comes to calculus. He does AP Calc, Calc AB, Calc BC, what else? AP Statistics. Anyone that's taking statistics and that's going into the nursing program, if you need help with statistics, make sure you link up with Robert. Okay? There you go. Boom. All right. I think... Oh, well, you think you got wrong. More with practice. Yeah. And that's it. It's just going to take a little bit of practice. Yep, you still have all your college books? I know. We're all sitting there having all this knowledge collecting dust. Because we're all just like, yep, college is done. Now it's time to go to work. So, if anything... Okay, awesome. Yeah, Leah, I just got your message. Okay, so, as I was saying, as I'm about to go a little bit further, thank you so much for tapping and past the 50 mark. I appreciate it. Now, if anything, if you like my notebooks, okay, My notebooks, I actually designed this notebook, okay? There's so many other ones I have. This is book number 5, so there's not that much action going on in this one. But it just gives you a section to write your formulas, a section to write your steps. It reminds you of Cornell notes, because if you notice, there are no math notebooks. There's notebooks for English, there's notebooks for elementary school kids, there's notebooks for journaling, but there isn't one for math. So in addition to all of these pages where you can put your notes on one side, and also there's a grid on the other side, as well as having a mood tracker. So this is great for homeschool parents, maybe even teachers when you're in the classroom. Like, hey, how are you feeling before the lesson? How are you feeling during the lesson? And how are you feeling after the lesson? So you just kind of keep track on how people are feeling. We should do that as educators, right? But in addition to all that, let me see, I have in the back math resource pages. So if you're not strong with your multiplication tables, I got factor charts from 1 all the way up to 200. So like if you were trying to break down the square root, I don't know, of 169. Well, no, that's not so good. How about like 172? There we go. That makes it so much better. So I will go here to 172, and then I will look at the factors of 172. So I got 1 is 172, 2 and 86, and 4 and 43. So 4 and 43, that will work for me because that's what's called a perfect prime combination. The 4 is a perfect root. The 43 is a prime root. Can't break down 43 nice and even. And if you're not sure, I come over here to 43 and look, 43 is a prime number. The only factors is 1 and 43. So you can use this to help find your LCMs, to find your GCFs, all that. Then in addition to that, you got your rules of integers, which a lot of us, after going through a couple examples, need to reflect on these. Okay, so adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Also the words, the most famous or most used words for word problems. Order of operations, both here in the States and also international. Then we have the properties of exponents. We have our linear and our quadratic, looking at all those formulas. Then we have, sticking to the paper, properties of quadrilaterals. Then we have our volume and surface area, as well as area and perimeter, just trying to keep track of everything. Then, on top of it, the unit circle. If you're about to go into Precalculus, this is going to be your new best friend next year, right? And then the Pythagorean theorem, as well as the SOHCAHTOA and other trig identities for at least like pre-calc. So this book is really designed for students 7th grade all the way up to adults. Okay, so several different covers, and where you can get it, you can either just go to my profile or you can come here. Okay, all of my books. Okay, I also have something called Audrey's notes. So say you want the notes, the actual notes that I've been doing, I've made a collection. I have a nice little series. I just released book number 4. So for book number 4, this is book number 3 because I haven't ordered my thing yet. Like I literally just released it like yesterday. So it's a collection of all of my notes that I have here on TikTok. Now, if you notice, most of them, or not all of them, have a QR code. If you scan the QR code, it will take you directly to the live that is connected to the notes. So now you can just follow along. It's almost like you're just going to the regular live. Yes, the lives are on my YouTube channel, but it's going to take you a while to shuffle through because I go live sometimes twice a day. And if you add that week after week, that's a lot of videos that you want to shuffle on through. But wouldn't it be great if you already had the notes? So this is called Audrey's Notes, which is a play off of Cornell Notes. Or, yeah. So that's all you have to do. is just scan it, and then you can follow along. It's great for remediation, maybe even a little bit of enrichment. It's kind of nice for your homeschool situations. All right. So if you want them, come get them. Okay. If you order it from here, I know it's P Day here. It just started, but I only get 50 cents per book. Yeah. So I designed my own bookstore. So this is where you can go and to get them. All right. And coming soon, I'm still working on my math workbook. And if you need any other things like courses, if you have time that you want to say, all right, I'm not going to take my GED like next week. I want to take it like before the end of the year. All right, I have courses that you can follow along step by step. There's a session that you can just get the courses and work on by yourself, or you could. Sorry, gotta do this sliding thing. Oh, it's not. Oh, it doesn't want to slide. Oh, there we go. Okay. Or you can order the courses that comes with 4 30-minute tutoring sessions. So it's like you're doing some of the work, but then you're getting that guidance to say, yep, your thought process is right, or that has nothing to do with what we're going to do. So just trying to give you guys as many resources as possible. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. Does it say Codner at the end? Yes. Yes. Codner, my name. Should have known this morning when I ordered on A. Okay. That's okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you. You're ready for my something's in the way. I can't see that. We're ready to go. Okay. Yep. All right. So these are the things. You want the notes. Yep. You guys can work on the unit circle tomorrow. Awesome. It really helped me. Ready for my final tomorrow. Awesome, Nate. You're going to do awesome. You're going to be doing to get those books. Okay, you got that. So you got all the info. Now, here's the other thing. These are the things that I do. I know it's kind of weird because we got all this stuff. Let me put it on a darker paper. There we go. All right. So now you can see it so much better. All right. So private tutoring. Guys, I'm serious. I don't know what it is about me. I've been very aggressive lately because I keep seeing people saying, oh my God, I will never do factoring. I will never get this math. I will never. Stop it. Because now you have someone that cares enough that's going to break it down. Hopefully I'm proving that to you. All right. So if I'm not, I'm so sorry, but I will work harder. Okay. I'll just do what I got to do. But if you need tutoring, I can do small groups, and especially like if it's you and there's like other people that's in maybe a college algebra course with you, and all of you guys are looking at each other like, I have no idea what this teacher is saying, and you want someone to translate and to break these concepts down, we can do that. I know, yes, tutoring does cost money, but here's the thing. When I was running my fundraiser for saving my home, a lot of people stepped up. A lot of people helped me out, and a lot of people said that they want to sponsor another student. So there was people that said, I'm giving you this money, but I want you to sponsor someone. So there was a good handful of people that I reached out and say, hey, you want to get into this course? You want to do that? And I've been basically helping people, but I still have a couple slots left. So if it's about finances and you need some assistance, there is going to be a price, but it's not going to be as much as it usually is. My private tutoring is usually $87 an hour. But because all of this is happening, everything is dropped a lot. Okay, so my suggestion is to jump on board this month because August 1st, my kids from Alaska come back. I know. So I am grateful for that. So I can get my money back where it was. But at the same time, all of my prices are going to go up and it's going to be at its usual spot. So if you need, and a lot of you guys say you have exams on the 31st, well, then reach out. Stop saying, oh, Audrey, I don't know. Stop. And I met with a person today. Yep, and I got you. All right. Yep, it is highlighted as well. Thank you. So you got, here's the YT. Because I can't say the words because all of a sudden I get dinged with a violation from TikTok. So that's why I just had to write them down, okay? So I really want you to learn. I really want you to grow. I really and truly want you to feel confident. Whoa, that got crazy. I really want you to feel confident in being able to do math, okay? I don't want to hear about any generational curses and all that stuff because that's foolishness. It's just you had a teacher that just didn't make you feel confident, and at the same time, you were a kid. You weren't you weren't so much an advocate for yourself when you were younger. You wanted to be a part of the pack. You didn't want to be that lone kid, right? You always wanted to have friends. So this is why you didn't ask questions, because you didn't want to be that person to raise their hand. I get it, because I was that person. So I totally get it. All right. Yes. Am I speaking to you? I'm speaking the truth. It is. And now that we're older, now you're taking exams that you're not allowed to use a calculator for. So that's your GED. T's test, I think you can use a scientific calculator, but you can't use a graphing calculator like this. The ASVAB, you can't use a calculator at all either. So you've been going to classes where they've been throwing this thing called a calculator in your face, and now when it's time for you to take a big, huge assessment, you can't. Doesn't make any sense. But here we are. Instead, they'll give you a whiteboard that they just kind of put it together, and then you just have to do your work on that. So that's why I do a lot of things manually. It's not because I'm just trying to be a brat. That's what's happening. I'm trying to get you ready for that step. So you practice the way that you're going to test. So as a lot of you guys will probably have these books and everything, do not, and I repeat, do not use the calculator while you're trying to learn these things. Okay? You can use it to check it, and that's about it. Okay? But you have to get your multiplication tables right, guys. You have to. You have to. It's fast addition. That's all it is. Okay? All right. Let me go back to the title. Always speaking truth. Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes. So I know everyone's like, okay, she's preaching. She wants money. She's done. We're good. We'll just see her tomorrow. All right. So before everyone leaves completely, there are a few people I would love for you guys to follow. Anyone that's thinking about doing nursing and they need assistance with their dosage calculations, make sure you follow a Blessed RN. She's really good with basically looking at those proportions and breaking them down so it's not math heavy. As well as T's, ASVAB, GED, similar to myself. We have Miss Taylor from Impact Math 19. She's usually, her free versions are in the afternoons, 1 p.m. Central Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time. But I think her evening ones is for her subscription. So if you want to subscribe to her, that would be amazing to break down concepts. Then we have, if you're looking for a chemistry teacher, she's right now doing summer programs, and that's Professor TK. She's going to be great. If you have some kids that are going to be taking Algebra 2 next year, they're probably going to be taking chemistry. So they're going to need that. And if you want to learn a fun way of adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing with 1, 2, or even 3-digit numbers, go ahead and check out Learning with Lynette. She does it by using the abacus, which is a true art form nowadays. So she's really putting a modernized twist onto it. It's not just a regular, here's a bunch of pages, throw some numbers. She really makes it interactive and fun. Then if you have anyone younger, like pre-K or kindergarten, you're thinking about homeschooling, make sure you check out my friend Nancy, an online elementary tutor, because she's been doing a lot with reading and math, as well as my friend Bridget. She does reading and math with K through 8 and K through 5th. She's from Read, Math, and Grow. And we have Robert, who is in the chat right now. Robert, the AP math guy. He does AP statistics, also can help with statistics with nursing, AP calculus, AB or BC, okay? And maybe even the AP pre-calc, that's not my thing anymore. I tried that a couple of times and I was like, and no. It's something about IB math that just makes me just cringe. And I think it's just a terminology. She's live right now. Yep. Yes, definitely. Yes. What about cybersecurity? What about cybersecurity? About my day? Yeah. Basement didn't flood. It was right on the cusp because I made sure that the water was really low this time. Not too low to make the whole world stink down there, but low enough. So when my electricity went out, I was like basically at the top of the steps just there praying. I'm like, come on. Come on. Give me a break, Lord. Please. I'm like, what is the message that you want me to learn, Lord? Like, what is the message? Because whatever it is, please just make it plain to me. Because these little trials and all this stuff, I can't. I just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually just cannot anymore. All right. Yes. No. Will Impact Math help us with HE? What is that? What is HESI? I've never heard of that. Like real analysis. I haven't seen too many with real analysis and probability theorems. I haven't seen too many of those. For nursing, well, I know she does a tease, so I mean, I'm not sure. Because most of the math of the algebra is basically the same. Because it's like system of equations. You're still going to be graphing linear equations. You're going to be doing some quadratics. You're going to be doing factoring. So all of those tests are basically the same. Hell, most of them are made by the same company, ETS. So, okay. All right, good. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for stopping in. Yeah, I am perfectly fine. Like this 29.4, that's fabulous. But if anything, tomorrow what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday. So tomorrow I'm only going to be available at 9:30 p.m. I'm going to actually do like I don't know, almost like a pre-test of algebra. And just to see, like, where are we? You know, we've done a few things together. So it was like a pre-test I used to use when I was in the classroom. I was like, oh, let me see if I do this live. And it's going to hit on a lot of the components that basically the GED and the ASVAB and the ACCUPLACER is going to be addressing. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. And then Thursday at 1 o'clock, we're going to continue on with the, because I totally forgot, my Wednesdays, I do have a student at 1 o'clock, so I won't be able to. unless I go early at 11. I can do that. That's feasible. You know, I probably might do that, but it's going to be kind of weird for some people. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Any questions for me? Because 80K is fabulous for me. I know. It's been a weird day. Okay. Nope. Awesome. All right. So for... Okay. Nope. Awesome. All right. So for... Yeah. So Janice, just be on the lookout. I'm going to see if I can break down concepts and make a video for you guys. And I'll put it in our Google Classroom. Alrighty. Alrighty, tidy. So I'll probably see you tomorrow. I'm definitely going to see you tomorrow at 9:30. I'm not sure about the early, but I'm going to try. Because sometimes I have all kinds of weird things happening. Alrighty. Alright, so have an amazing night. Okay, till tomorrow. You guys just keep being awesome. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, toodaloo. Have a good night.